Welcome back to another great learning video. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus heavily on an analysis a lot of organizations are doing. In this analysis, what we're looking at are the social media sales that organizations have. In our example, we have a company who's doing work with Facebook Marketplace, Google, Pinterest, TikTok, and Twitter, which are the major lines that we're having here. They're doing a lot of advertisements and they're selling services and doing ads. They're running these campaigns during different time periods. As you see, it came down. We downloaded the information from a table in the database. Let's take a look at this. First of all, you can sort it by campaign name. And you can see they have April shower, Black Friday deals, New Year celebration. Or you can sort it by month. Sometimes the campaigns line up to it, sometimes they don't. It just depends because some campaigns run across months. We look at the responses, the effective rate of those responses, and the total sales. But we're sitting here and we want to do subtotaling, but the problem with the subtotaling is that it's in a table. If you look at data, you can't run subtotals. It's grayed out against table data. So you need to go into table data and you need to convert to a range. Say, okay. That takes it out. It's no longer a table. And you'll see that the table designation up here is gone. And now we have what looks like a table, but it's not a table. It's formatted, but it really isn't. It's a range of data. But if you'll notice, if we hit data, the subtotal feature is back. Now it's important to talk about what we're going to subtotal here, just to give a quick 101 on this. We're going to really subtotal this by campaign name and sales channel. So as we run April showers, we want to know how April showers does by each of the major campaigns in here. Summer blues, 'tis the season, winter nights. We want to understand how it works by sales channel. So we have to do two subtotals. And any time that you mention subtotals, you really need to sort the data to line up with the subtotals. So the best way to do this is go data sort, because we're going to do campaign and by sales channel to see how it works. When we run a certain campaign in April, which is the sales channel that does the best? I can kind of look at the numbers, but it's kind of confusing. Some of this is staged data. So we need to really get a good idea of it. So what we'll do first is we'll sort the data sort, and this is on a Mac. And so what we'll do is first we'll sort by campaign name, but I want to add a level. I'm going to hit the plus sign, and the level I'm going to add is going to be sales channel. So now I have two things. I can sort of different orders and those kind of things, but I'm just going to leave it. Make sure your list has header records, and you sort. The key to any good subtotaling is a good sort. And in some cases you may want to add a column and create a sort key. That's also very effective if you want it to show up in exactly a certain manner. You could sort it by month, but most of the time people want to know by campaign. How does it work? Then, once we have the data sorted into two different ways, you can see April showers is sorted properly on the different channels that they have. You click subtotal. So for each change in campaign name, then you decide what you want to do. Well, in this case, we're going to sum the data. We're going to sum the total sales. You could look at responses or effectiveness, but in this particular issue or analyses, we're just going to look at total sales. We don't have social here. We don't really need to replace current subtotals. It's not a bad thing to leave on. And we want to put page breaks between groups. We can if we're going to print multiple things, but we don't necessarily need it for this example. And we can put summary data. So I usually leave replace current submissions on the first sort only. You can remove all subtotals if you're going to redo it, because sometimes you have to go through this multiple times. You say, okay, now it creates a subtotal level 1, level 2, level 3. But that's good, but it's not only half of what we want, right? I have April showers. I know how April showers is doing. You may want to also format these little bits. Let's go to the home key before we do anything. Commas. With the size of these dollars, you don't need the pennies. So we'll just get rid of this. Effectiveness rate, penetration rate. Maybe we make that percent. A couple decimal points. So we got the data set, but now I'm looking at it. Remember, we wanted to do sales channel too. It's not really we sorted it right, but we don't have subtotals by channel. So let's go ahead and go back into data, and we're going to actually do a second subtotaling. We're going to say subtotal, and it's going to say for each change campaign is what it was before. We're now going to say for each change in sales channel. Then we're going to do total sales. We're still going to sum. We're not going to replace the current subtotals, otherwise it'll wipe out the current subtotals we have. And we say, okay. So now let's take a look at it. Now we have April showers. We can spread the column a little thicker, a little wider, I mean, so that way we can actually look at what's going in here. And we can see we have all the information available on, so we can look at Facebook Marketplace. We have a subtotal report. Don't need to really print it, and it comes out to 4 levels in this case because we did the subtotaling on top of the subtotaling. Let's take a look if we get rid of the 4 shows everything. 3 shows only the April showers. 4 show the actual second level of detail. If I wanted to go in and yet do a 3rd level, what would we do that on? Remember, we're not sorted for that level, so if we do a 3rd level, we'd have to come in and say, maybe we do it by month as well, if it was really that much of a data set. For this case, we only need 2. So I hope that this video was helpful, shows you how to create subtotals in the reports. And if you really didn't like it, you also notice that the table doesn't line up right once you do the subtotaling, that the formatting was gone. So you may want to adjust your formatting beforehand because you'll have to fix that. But anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and then you'll use it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel.